What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you see behind me, we've got more attention hoe content. It's non-stop. But 2007 Chevy Tahoe that we call the attention hoe for a reason, because it always needs to be worked on. And I say that because it's a 2007. It's 15 years old.
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
So, of course, it needs to be maintained. And so today, we're changing out the struts. I probably should have started filming earlier, but I kind of wanted to get into it without having to worry about setting up a camera and all that. This side is definitely the easiest side because I haven't had a fender liner since we did the headers for this truck. So if you've been on the channel, you know that was a few years ago. I don't know, somehow I lost the fender liner and I never ordered another one. I don't know how I lost it. You know, I knew where it was until I didn't, which is, I guess, how you lose things. Anyway, 2007 Chevy Tahoe, the attention hoe. We're upgrading the struts. Let me show you what we got so far. So what we've done is really simple. Basically, you only have to take the tire off to change this. I haven't rode it in a while. That's why you see that build up on the rotors there. Haven't drove the truck in a while, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But as you see, nothing's taken apart. The only thing that's apart slightly is I've loosened the nut for the upper ball joint. I've let and this was to let the lower control arm fall, because the strut sits on top of the lower right there, bolts up here, bolts up here, and when that lower falls, it gives enough clearance for the bottom to kick out. It drops down, and then you pull it out of the top here. You see the CV axle still in, tie rod, everything is still connected. Everything is pretty much connected except for the nut for the lower is loosened and dropped down slightly. Like I said, it's super easy with no fender liner. I don't have to work from the top because that would be a pain trying to get adapters, let's see, swivels, extensions down from the top. Almost impossible to do that with all those hoses and lines. All right, so what we're putting in right here rough country. These freshies will help. So when I bought the Tahoe, the shocks were already leaking. You could tell that they were already kind of worn. All right, there we go. This is gonna be nice. This is what I had on the Tahoe. This is what I'm putting on. They're level now. Maybe this goes on without the spacer. It's got to. Or is this blown that bad to where, I don't know, guys. This is why I try not to film without proper knowledge of what is going on. I think I'm gonna put this on without the strut spacer. That just doesn't seem right to me. I think that this is gonna give me the 3-inch lift that I had with my strut spacer. It's got to. But when I talked to Rough Country, they said definitely use this because this is not for stock ride height. And I don't think that this is a lifting strut, but to put this in, there's no way that fits when that barely fit with the spacer. This is potentially how much more, girl? Look at that. Look at that difference. There's no way. Premium lifted strut. Yeah, this strut's gonna give me the 3 inches that this strut spacer once gave. Let's take that. Let's do it that way. If it doesn't work, we'll just be right back. This is a lifted strut assembly. Yes, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. It's the same height as with the strut spacer. So we're gonna just put this in, even though Rough Country did tell me, and it says on their website, this is for vehicles with 3-inch lift or not over 4.5 inches lift. I think it was. This is for vehicles that don't have over 4.5. And when I talked to the person in the chat on Rough Country, I think I screenshotted it. He said, yes, use your strut spacer with this. There's no way. I'll have 6 inches worth of lift after I put that 3 inches on this already larger strut. So let's put it back in and see what happens. We're gonna go in this way. And then we're gonna just go ahead and put it through the holes. Thank you. Let's let it balance there. My nuts are right here. Let's put those in here so we're close. We've got a bottle jack. Let's get that bottle jack. The instructions say to take apart a lot more stuff. But what do they know? We're only using that as a reference. We don't need instructions. Clearly that's what's got me into this awkward situation anyway, right? Thought about it. He wasn't talking about the front. He was talking about the rear. These are lifted struts, clearly. So the 3 inches is integrated into the strut. It's a 3-inch lift strut. The spacer that I keep is in the rear. My 3-inch block in the rear is the one I keep. He wasn't saying to keep the strut spacer that I have on my stock strut in the front. But to be level, to maintain the level, I need to keep the rear spacer in the rear spacer. Yeah, I kind of messed that up. I don't know why I made it more complicated than it was. Clearly, that's the new strut is a lifted strut. It is 4-lift, and it gives me the 3 inches that I was getting with my strut spacer in the front. So I got a bottle jack. I am getting ready to throw the new strut in, hopefully. Let's see if this works. Sticker facing forward. Don't think we have that option. I think we just have to go sticker facing back. Yeah, sticker has to face back. Wait. Okay. Now we've got that sitting on the jack. Pretty lined up with the holes. Now we need to jack bottom jack up. Problem. Get past the lower. There we go. There we go. How about this? Okay, let's go ahead and start screwing these in. Dude, when you have the right tools, everything goes so smooth. And that's what these videos are about. You know, this, my garage, parents' garage. I have to use a couple different places to get all of the parts that I need, the tools that I need. Yo, there we go. Falls right in place. There we go. Bottle jack. Got it there. It moves enough. Let's see, let's check the hardware. Yep, we've got new bolts for each side. Actually, I think that it bolts different now. The bolts to the lower. Where are the bolts to the lower? This actually is yep, it bolts different. So instead of using the original clips from the struts, nut and bolt go down through the lower like this. And this really only takes about half an hour aside. If I had the jack, if I had a couple of the other tools, it really hasn't taken, oh no. All right, so we've run into a problem. We've run into a problem, and this problem is an actual problem. Unless I do this upside down, which I don't see a problem in doing. Unless I do this upside down, I won't be able to run the bolt without taking the CV axle out. The CV axle gets in the way of the bolt. So I'm just gonna flip it. I don't see why that would be an issue, and it may be. Somebody that knows the strength of bolts and stuff will probably be in the comments and say, hey, you did this wrong and that's gonna snap that bolt. It just might. Hopefully it won't. But the next time I take that CV axle out, which is not a big deal, like I could probably, actually, I might be able to figure out a way to rotate it just enough. If I take this nut off, so I'll be able to put it in there correctly. And all I've done is taken the upper control arm. All I've done is taken the upper control arm, taking that nut completely off. Like I said, I had it just a few threads on so I could drop the lower a little bit. But now I've taken it all the way out and just rolled the brake, the knuckle. I've rolled it back, and now that the bolt is in, I can roll that forward, get the ball joint line back up into the knuckle, a few strong whacks. And that's back in place, and we hand tighten that nut and everything's all good. This strut is in. It just took, I don't even know. Let's see if I can see the timer on this video. 7 minutes. Took 7 minutes to get that strut in, and all we have to do is tighten everything up, put the wheel back on, and it's completely done in 7 minutes. And it probably took another 7 to 15 to take the factory strut off. So, you know, definitely a 30-minute aside job. Again, a lot of this was looking for the right tools. So now we tighten everything. I will start with tightening the top bolts. Up here, we need a deep socket. That's way too big. 19 is, once again, I think we are victim to not having 2 sockets that we need. Which means we'll just be going to Harbor Freight and restocking. One thing that happens when you go and work on stuff in different places is some of those sockets are rehomed. Yes, they have a new home now. 15 giga. Those are off. Filthy now. That's just because, one, I've got a torn CV axle boot that slung grease all in the inside of here. Also, the oils from blown shocks filled this wheel well, making it an extreme mess. So we are going to set that up about right there behind the lower control arm perch. I'm gonna kind of control that with my foot and turn it to an angle where I can jack it up. So from here, I'll be able to jack up the strut as I need it. I'll be able to control the jack with my foot, because it's gonna be behind, and I'm gonna roll that jack forward when it's in place so that the feet on the bottom of the strut land on the perch on the lower control arm. So, sticker to the back, drop it in. Sticker to the back is actually, they've placed this sticker in a weird position, I think. Now the sticker's gonna be to the front. It going up over the lower control arm, just as we need it to. We're really close, maybe half an inch, no, quarter inch. Bottoming out there. Whoa. Now that's out of the way. There we go. Now we're in place.